Hi,
There
Angel.
you
How are
go.
you?
Good, good. How you doing? I like the
I'm
name
doing.
Gracie Lou.
Thank you. I like your name.
The city of New York, Boricua from the Bronx.
I'm
I
doing
watched
well
the
today.
I watched a little bit of the claim to fame, and I was
hmm
like, is that a fake name she used for the show? And then I kept digging around, and I was like, no, that looks like it's the proper name.
Well, it's a little bit of both, you see, because it's a nickname that I grew up with. So it was kind of like a fake name to throw people off, but I'm used to it with my family calling me that.
Oh, so you would respond to it because it's kind of
hmm
like awesome. We have
Yeah, it's stuck.
a special little guest joining us today.
Who is that?
This is Peppa. It's my
Hi,
little
Peppa.
It's my little lady, little
Your
Peppa
little
here.
fur baby. Oh my goodness. I wish I could pet Peppa right now.
I don't know, something's up with her. She's been a little like uncomfortable. I don't know. I think she's
Oh,
got a little like back pain or something. So, daddy's
she
being a
wants to be
little,
close.
yeah, daddy's kind of giving her a little more lap time. She's a
Yeah,
lappy
extra
dog.
love. She's so cute.
Yeah, she's a sweetie. I feel so bad when she's not well. Like, it
Yeah.
just really bothers me. Like I don't know, like they can't tell you, they just look at you with those eyes like, like
Mm-hmm.
help me. And I'm like,
Hold me.
I don't know what to do. So here we are.
How
Just
old is
hanging out.
she?
She's 7.
Oh, she's still a baby.
Yeah, yeah. She's
Well, she's a
so
welcomed guest.
yeah, I had her down low. I'm like, let me bring her up a little bit and say hi, man.
Oh, she's
So
so cute.
And let's have you introduce yourself real quick, because I generally start talking and then it's like, but who was that? You know what I mean?
Who am I talking
please.
to?
Yeah.
Well, hi everyone. My name is Gracie Lou. I'm a New York-based singer-songwriter, and recently you may have seen me on Hulu's Claim to Fame season 3, and that show is the reason that I'm pursuing a singer-songwriter career now. So I'm very grateful for it. And I'm
Is that?
currently in Nashville, coming to you from Nashville
Oh,
right
okay.
now. I have the Claim to Fame poster in the background.
What are you doing in Nashville? You're from Cali, right?
I am. I'm from California, live in NYC. My family's originally from Manhattan. So we all kind of migrated back to the East Coast. And I'm in
Mm.
Nashville doing some local news appearances. I just came from Local on 2, did a little talk show right before this. So that's what I'm doing here, just meeting new people and chatting with people. It's great.
Very cool. I feel like a lot of musicians have been moving out there, and like I have a friend from New York and she moved out there. And I was like, Nashville? It's like, well, I get it. I get the scene and stuff, but New Yorkers going over there to me is like, are we even allowed to go to Nashville?
I know.
You know what I mean?
It feels
Like,
sacrilegious.
are we
But it
even
is the place to be for musicians and this industry, but also New York too. Like that's why I love New York and stay there.
So tell me about the show. So like I did a couple of TV shows myself, right? Like one of them was like a
hmm
cooking show, and I was like the judge and stuff. And
Fun.
how was it all real? Or like I mean, are you even allowed to say it? Like, or like I'll give you an example. I was on an MTV show and one guy won, right? He won. He
hmm
won the show. But his
hmm
reaction after he won was, they're like, so how do you feel? And he was like, it's cool, man. I like winning. And they were like, okay,
We need
cut,
more.
cut. All right, let's try it again and again. So how do you feel? It's like, I feel great. But there was no. So then they said, listen,
hmm
we're gonna pay you as if you won, but we're gonna put the second place guy as the guy on camera. So they put the second place guy, and he said, I won. And he started jumping. And that's the one they use. So,
Wow.
you know what I'm saying? Like he wasn't the
hmm
winner,
Right,
like,
right. But he had the enthusiasm of a winner.
yeah.
Most of it is reality, but as you know, like the editors can kind of pick and choose what storyline that they want to do. And how they want to characterize everyone in the house. So, but for a majority, I feel like they really played true to every person and every situation. But, it's TV, and
Right,
yes, it's
right.
reality TV, but they are, of course, going to enhance some moments and make it a
Frame it.
storyline that they want.
Right, right. Frame it as they, well, like that guy, this guy
Exactly.
won, but he was kind of like boring.
Mhm.
You
It's
know?
still TV, you still have to make good TV, so
Yeah, yeah. Did you
I
enjoy
think
it? Like,
that's oh, I loved it so much. I didn't know what to think going into it because, it's a big risk to put yourself out there on any platform really, and you don't know how you're gonna be perceived or how it's gonna be edited, but I had a wonderful time. I'm at another cast member's house right now, staying with her. We're all
oh,
best friends now. So, I loved it. It was great. I would do it again if I could.
that's cool. Yeah, I think those things can be fun. I have fun doing it, and I wanted to do more, but
Mhm.
the opportunities. It's like, well, you were already on that TV show. We can't use you on another one because they already know you
Exactly.
from that one. So, unfortunately, it was limited, and I'm not
Mhm.
much
But
of an
it's so
actor, so
fun. Me
yeah,
neither.
definitely.
I'll be
You
myself
know,
anytime.
that I can do. There was something that kind of jumped at me when I was reading through your details and stuff. You're involved with the oldies circuit.
I am. That is
Please.
my full-time job almost. I work with Jackie Wilson's son, Bobby Wilson, as his backup vocalist, and being his backup vocalist has just been the most fun because I meet some iconic people. I met Priscilla Presley 2 weeks
Hmm.
ago because I was singing on the Malt Shop Memories Cruise, which is essentially a oldies music festival on a chartered ship for a week. And it was the most fun I've had. And I met so many iconic artists like, Johnny Farina, he was one that just kind of baffled me. He wrote the song Sleepwalk, which is one of the most famous instrumentals of all time. So
Oh
I
my
I
God.
just felt so honored to meet all of these incredible icons of their generation. Darlene Love was another one who I met. The Drifters, we perform with them a lot. We perform with Jay and the Tokens, who wrote The Lion Sleeps Tonight. So I love the oldies circuit. That is my thing right now, and I feel very honored to be a part of it.
My first actual live concert was an oldies concert. That was the
Really?
first like concert when I started working and I, kind of started coming into my own. The first thing I ever went to was an oldies concert with a lady who I was trying to court. We're at this thing, she loved oldies too, and I started crying because
Oh,
I'd been listening to oldies since I was a
your
kid.
whole
Now,
life.
it's not my generation. You know what I mean? It wasn't even my parents. My parents didn't listen to it. I just heard an oldie song and it just resonated and I loved it.
Yeah.
And
It
I
takes
would
you
go to
back to
sleep.
that time.
Even though I wasn't around, I could still
Yeah.
appreciate it. I would go to sleep every night listening to oldies. And when I'm sitting there and I'm watching, so I'm watching them sing the song, I just was moved to tears. And the lady I was with, she's like, "Are you crying?" And I'm like, "No."
Yes.
No,
Don't
I'm
look at
not.
me.
Something's in my eyes, no. But it,
It's
it
okay
was,
to cry at oldies music. I cried too. So
oh,
it's so
now
nostalgic.
it is. And it's wild because I don't think neither of us was around
Oh
during that
no.
time, but you could feel it. You
Mhm.
could feel it,
And we're keeping it alive, and I think when I perform for these older crowds, I am so touched by them reminiscing in all of it, and that was the best part about becoming a part of this circuit is kind of keeping that alive for them, for these people that loved that music and loved that era so much. It's sweet, really, even though I definitely was not born in that time.
Yeah, me either. I've loved the music all my life, and to this day, I listen to oldies almost every day. Just at some point or another, I'm pumping them. Even
Mhm.
Spanish ones. I got some Spanish oldies. Those are a little more obscure.
But I bet it's so good.
Yeah, they're beautiful songs, but they also make you cry, you know.
Hmm.
They can get them tears
Tears are
flowing.
rolling.
Oh, it's so funny. The oldies. Yeah, I watched Bobby Wilson. I watched a few clips because I wanted to see it, you know. But I checked it
Hmm.
out and I was like, all right, if I wasn't looking at him, I might think that it's the same singer.
He's great on stage and off stage. I love working with him. So I don't know. He has a lot of energy too.
Oh, he definitely rocks it. And I saw a lot of the comments were giving him props that he very much pulls off what a lot
Owns
of people
it.
couldn't. Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
It bugs me when people kind of like ride the coattails of somebody and they don't really earn it or they don't do a good job at
Right.
it. But sometimes you see some people who they're doing and you're like, okay, I'm glad this person's doing it because he's one of them. And a lot of the people in the comments agree. It's like,
Hmm.
this guy
Well
is
deserved.
actually, yeah, he's definitely pushing that forward. So
Yeah, he
I
has his
love the
own
oldies.
talent he brings to the table. So he's
Yeah,
wonderful.
yeah. When I see Son, I thought I was going to look at a young guy, but we got to remember the years are
Hmm.
significant. So somebody's son of somebody who's 90 could be 70, or if they're 70, they could be
Exactly.
50. So, I was like, okay,
And he
that's kind
has an
of
incredible story too, because he grew up in foster care not knowing his father. And he
oh
found
wow.
out later in life, after his father passed, that
Oh,
he was his father. So there's a whole documentary called The Last Teardrop, I believe, all about Bobby's story and discovering that his father was the Jackie Wilson.
wow.
It's pretty interesting.
Well, that being added to the narrative, then it's even more wild that he could be so much like him.
Right?
If he
Everyone
didn't,
told him that he
wow.
sounded and looked like him, and then someone traced it and found out that he was actually his son, and they got DNA tested and everything. And he had this whole new family all of a sudden.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, he is a crazy story.
I was listening to some of your original songs and they're pretty. They're
Oh,
very
thank
pretty.
you.
See, I
Thank
wrote the name
you.
down. September and To Have and
Mm-hmm.
To Hold. Now, To Have and
Yes.
To Hold, I felt like that one kind of hit me a little deeper. I don't know, the
Oh.
melody, like I was sitting here and I was like, oh wow, this is kind of like it's really, like it's a pretty song. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's a
They're
pretty
both kind of sad and contemplative. I'm working on
hmm.
upbeat songs now, but those two were, from
Well,
a vulnerable place, and a lot of people related to it, and they requested that those songs get released. So I released them.
mhm. Yeah, you want reality. You don't want I'm a Zumba instructor, right? And people give me songs sometimes. They'll give me a song and they'll say, "Hey Angel, can you do this song?" And I'll listen to the
Mm-hmm.
song, and if the song doesn't speak to me, can't do it.
You don't do it. Mm-hmm.
Artistically, I can't create a choreography for it. I can't like I have to love
You
it,
need to
you know.
feel it. Yeah.
Yeah, it has to speak to me. Like the dance that I do has to come organic. If I have to
Mm-hmm.
sit and plan and think and make myself like it just doesn't work, you know.
Yeah.
It's the same with music, because I do
Mm-hmm.
music as well. I write poetry and then I take the poetry and put them to music. I can't
That's
sing,
awesome.
so I have
But
singers
you're a
sing for
writer.
me. Yeah, like
That's
that.
half the
I
battle.
I like rap the parts, my parts. I'm
Mm.
like spoken word, and then I
Yeah.
have if there's harmonies and stuff, like I'll tag my friends who sing and be like, "Yo, you mind
Mm-hmm.
dropping the chorus on this? Because I can't sing." You know.
That's so fun. I love that.
Oh, yeah.
You're like a
So
ghostwriter.
yeah, well, because I also perform on the song, so I do join them
Oh,
on it, but I
good.
can't sing. So I just do the
I'm sure
walking
you've got
along.
a tune to you. I'm sure you can sing a little bit.
Did you get coaching for singing or you just have it? Like I see your parents were also singers. I
Mhm.
was looking for their songs and I couldn't find them. I
Oh,
was
if you look up girlfriend Phil Hyland on Spotify, you can find it. Or Phil Hyland will show up. Yeah, both my parents are wonderful singers, and I didn't take lessons until later in life because I was a competitive figure skater. So that was my entire life growing up, was doing that sport. And then I did show choir in high school, so I got some training from my choir director there. And then I went to a performing arts college, and part of the curriculum was getting voice lessons. And that's when I really found my voice and kind of came out of my choir shell. So later in life is when I really started discovering my true voice.
You had it or you had to learn it?
I
Like
would
someone like me who can't
say
sing, can it be learned?
I
Me
think it
at
can be
47.
learned. Yes, I think, you know, sometimes it's just unlocking your voice. Like you can have it. And for me, like I used to always sing very soft and timid. And then in college, it was kind of unlocked that I had this big, booming voice. Of course, my songs that I write are more soft and intimate, but in college, I discovered that I could, belt and sing rock and sing very loudly. And I didn't really know that part of my voice before then. So I think there's always something that you can unlock and train.
Oh,
So it's a little bit of natural talent and hard work that you put into it. So
I
it's
feel
never
like
too late.
exploring that. Yeah.
You
Yeah, I feel like
should.
exploring that. Like you have something coming out as well, right? You want to tell us about that? That you're on a project. I believe it's like the 20th, I think, if I'm mistaken there.
Oh, I'm opening for a friend in Queens at Sanger Hall. It will be one of my first New York shows that I've done in a couple months because I've been so busy with Claim to Fame and working the oldies circuit. So it's kind of like I'm finally coming back and doing my own music. So that's November 20th at 8 p.m. $10 cover. So it's, a nice cheap show.
And your friend is also singer, or is it like
She's a singer-songwriter. She's so wonderful. Her name is Blair Lamb, and she is one of those people that can play like any instrument. The way that she
uh,
writes, you hear her songs and you're like, "Oh, I wish I wrote that. That's so good." She's so good. So I'm opening for her and then she'll go on after.
cool. And you did competitive figure skating.
I did. Starting around age 6, I
Uh,
started skating competitively at age 6.
Is that like, so I don't know much about the sport, but I mean, is that where you're kind of going and spinning and doing like ice skating, I
Yeah.
guess, like, but
Yes,
with
yes.
using regular skates?
That's pretty much exactly it. Figure skating is, you know, there's jumps and spins and certain moves that you are judged on, and you have to almost choreograph a program that has all of that criteria in it. So, you start with single jumps and then you move up to doubles, triples, and so forth. So I did that competitively for 9 years. And then after that, I chose show choir over figure skating and started just doing it for fun.
This was your thing, or this was like your parents' thing? Like the
This was fully my thing. It kind of came out of left field. And, they're musicians and they're very supportive though. I started skating because my friend saw that there was like a public class that you could take in one of those, town catalogs. And I started going to group lessons and I got a mysterious anonymous sponsorship for private coaching. So someone, I guess, was watching me in my group
wow,
classes and sponsored me to get private coaching. So that's kind of what kickstarted my whole figure skating career. And I still to this day have no idea who that
wow, really?
sponsor is. So thank you to them for helping me out
Wow.
and making it possible because figure skating is such a expensive sport.
Mhm.
So I truly could not have done it without this anonymous person.
Wow. I have seen
So it was
that
fun.
I was watching like a documentary about the Olympics and the people that are going to the Olympics and how expensive it is.
you have the wardrobe, you pay for the coaching, you pay for the session, so you pay for the gear itself. So it's a whole thing. It's a fun sport though, but it is quite expensive.
When you did that, did you ever like, so like in sports, like I do jujitsu and I have a host of injuries from jujitsu,
Oh,
pain, you know,
yes,
do
lingering
you
pain.
carry,
I
do you,
do, I do. My ankles from growing up in a boot my whole life are quite sensitive. They're not sensitive, but they've been through a lot. And my wrists from falling all the time, my back, all of the things. Because when you are a figure skater, you are taking some hard falls sometimes. And it's intense.
would you consider them like life altering or just like annoyances type of thing? Like,
I would consider them annoyances because I still have a very healthy, good body that carries me through life. So just little annoyances and little aches from it.
right. Yeah,
Nothing horrible.
so when I was looking for your folks, I found the girlfriend and I saw a picture of two folks and it looks kind of like almost like an oldies picture and then it says topic,
Yeah.
but I couldn't find the actual songs. Like I mean, I'll keep digging, but I was looking for them
I
and I'm
can
like,
send it to you.
yeah, awesome, awesome. But your parents wouldn't be oldies generation, right?
No, they actually were going for that kind of retro
Okay, that
aesthetic when
explains
they
it.
did the photo shoot, which, that is my favorite photo shoot of theirs. But, my mom was saying like we were going for the throwback look with our
Mission
album
accomplished.
cover. And yeah, and it worked. It worked. I
Yeah.
mean, they looked very classic. Yeah.
Yeah, because I was looking
But their
at this and
music
I,
is not like that at all.
okay, all right. That's why I was like, ooh,
Not
more
even
oldies
close.
to try, you know. Oh, because
Mm.
I saw you're in the oldies circuit, and then I saw this picture,
Mhm.
and I'm like, whoa, will her parents be from the oldies era? And I don't know this band from back then, you know. So, you know,
Mhm. No, they're more in the indies 90 rock scene. That's their music.
all right,
It's
cool.
very it's I love their music. I could be a little bit biased, but I think
Uh,
their songwriting and their production from that time is just so different from what a lot of people did back then. So, you should check it out.
well, I grew up in I was around in the 90s, so I appreciate
Mhm.
90s and 90s rock. I mean, I'm from the school of Nirvana and Pearl
Mhm.
Jam, Guns N' Roses, like that era, you know.
Yeah.
So
And,
I get
they're
it.
New York. My mom's a New York native, and that was their scene, performing all around New York City. So,
Very cool. Yeah, I definitely want to
their spot.
check it out. Now, in your show, right, when you were on that show, was your uncle the person that you were hiding?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes. He was my secret identity.
okay. Did they figure it out?
They didn't figure it out. So I went into the show with a plan to get them off of my track by pretending I was a country artist's relative. So I put on like this whole country persona and I did an original song, but added like twang to it and played guitar. So they thought I was related to some country music star. So they had no idea that it was John Cryer when it was revealed that he was my uncle. So they weren't even close to figuring that out.
Wow. Was the objective was to survive, right? To not get figured out.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
I
But
presume you made it, right? Like,
I made it to episode 2. It's a whole thing, but I guessed wrong. So then I got sent home.
oh, oh, so that
Yeah.
factors into it as well. Oh,
Mhm.
well, yeah, it makes
So if
sense, right?
yeah,
Mm.
if you guess wrong, then you're out.
Oh, okay, I see. So it's not just
Mhm.
hiding yours, but also you have to try to figure out other people, and that's going to open up the opportunity
Yeah.
to.
Stressful.
Uh,
Very
yeah,
tense in the house.
Yeah, do y'all like y'all fight and have beef with each other? Like is because I can't
Um,
imagine like a bunch of grown people that
yeah,
don't
I
know each
would say
other.
that it's like not real beef, because it's a game show, it's a challenge. And, people were in this pressurized environment. So it wasn't like real fighting. Like we're all really close in real life and we always say like, "Oh, whatever was said in the house and what happened in the house, like that doesn't matter in real life." So it wasn't like any big summer blowouts or anything like that, but little tension in the house was definitely there. But for the most part, we had a great time and we're just kind of in this weird experiment together, it felt like. So it was fun. It was a good time.
You applied to it or like they reach out to you? How'd that come about? The
They
recruiting
found
process.
me. Some people apply, but for my case, they found me on Instagram. And I thought it was a scam when they reached out. So I was like, I don't want to talk to these people. I don't want to use my uncle for anything. And then I actually talked to my uncle about it. And he said, no, like this is a legit opportunity. You should talk to them. You should see it through. So I finally responded to the direct message. I got into this whole casting process and that lasted a few months. And then I got a call that I got the show. So it was fun. I'm glad they found me on Instagram.
Yeah, that sounds like fun. I'd totally be down for that. Question, do you hear my
Hmm.
dog panting?
I don't.
Okay.
I see her panting, but I don't hear it. She looks
She's
very
she's
cute. She's
she's over
hanging
here like
out.
and I'm like, oh my God, this podcast is gonna have Peppa panting the whole time. Because she
Peppa
wants to be
Panting is
on
the title.
Peppa Pants
She's so
with Gracie
cute.
Lou. She wants to be on
Mm.
top of me, but I generate heat, so
Yeah,
she's
she's a little fur ball.
mm, she generates heat on me, and I generate heat as well. So between the two of us, and look at her, she's like,
She's so cute.
and it doesn't come across here. She's tiny.
She
She's
looks
tiny.
tiny.
If
She
you saw
looks
her
so
in
little,
person, you
even
know, like
tinier.
yeah, it really doesn't come across in the
She almost
pictures
looks
and
like a stuffed animal. Like she doesn't look real. She's so cute.
it's five
Hey,
and a half
girl.
pounds.
She
She's
could
five
take
and a
her
half
hand.
pounds.
Oh, wow. She's so sweet.
So right now, like your main thing, like your objective, the what you're kind of like aiming for is like to work the music career, get the songs out and stuff.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm working on my first EP right now. So that's, in the works, slowly but surely, gonna get that out. So I'm
Yeah.
excited for that.
Have you made any music videos like for the music, like
I
actual like music videos
haven't.
yet?
No, but I'm kind of in the process of finding a cinematographer or somebody that can make a music video. That might be like part of the EP project. So hopefully one day. If not, I have a little cam recorder and I'll make a home video or something with that.
Yeah, or even like your studio sessions, recording sessions, or
Just
you
a
know,
live recording could be good.
yeah. I think the videos help,
Yeah.
would definitely, really help. I know a guy in Cali,
Mhm.
but he's in Cali and you're not there anymore. I
Mhm.
don't, I know a lot of people in New York who do videos, but I couldn't, I don't know that I'd vouch for any of them. Like, there was one dude that I would say that if you got a hold of him, this guy could do some amazing work. The others I don't know because I've never seen them work in that space. So, but yeah, I look
Mhm.
forward to seeing
Well, there's
a
a
music
bunch
video.
of people in New York that I'm sure I can get a hold of. So
Yeah,
I'll let
for
you know.
sure.
I'll send a link.
Yeah, that'll be awesome. I'll connect with you on Instagram as well. And Peppa has an
Yes. Hi,
Instagram too.
Peppa. Oh my goodness. She's my favorite. She just made my day.
And she's when I take her out, people go nuts.
Oh, I'm sure. You get stopped probably every 2 seconds.
Oh yeah,
because she's a
sometimes it's
character.
uncomfortable. Yeah. Oh yeah, like I've had up to like 10 people flanking me,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, I know this isn't for me, but I
This is for
still feel a
her.
little uncomfortable. Like you have all the
Yeah.
people like, how old is she? But I'm just like, no, just leave me alone. No
Mm-hmm.
cameras.
Let
Go
me take
away.
her on a walk.
Can I just walk? Thank you for your time, and
Thank you.
I appreciate the
Such a
chat. And
pleasure.
likewise, and when you're in New York, when's the show? November 20th. That's coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah,
see if
next week.
I'm gonna see if wifey wants to come down and check it out. Like I like live music. I enjoy it.
Yeah. It'll be like a chill acoustic night, so it'll be nice and cozy.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I could
Nothing
appreciate
too
that. So,
loud.
cool. Well, maybe you'll see us. I don't think I'll bring Peppa. She doesn't like,
Oh,
I'd bring her to quiet places, but if there's music and stuff
yeah.
like that,
She should stick home. Well, thank
Um,
you so
yeah,
much.
thank you. And do you want to give folks how they can contact you and connect with you?
Oh, yeah. Well, the best way to connect with me right now is my Instagram. It's at Gracie Lou Land. And my website is graciehyland.com. And I'm, not on TikTok really, working on it. So eventually I'll be there. But Instagram is the best way to find me. You can find me on Spotify and all of the streaming platforms under Gracie Lou. So that's where I'll be.
And they're very pretty songs.
Thank you. I appreciate you listening to them.
Thank you so much.
Happy Tuesday to you and Peppa. I hope you have a great rest of your day.
All right, we'll be in touch, okay? Take care.
Thank you. You too. Bye.
You are listening to the NYC Talking podcast. www.nyctalking.com. Please like NYC Talking on Facebook. Please follow Angel R Talk on Twitter and Instagram. We are NYC Talking, the realest lifestyle blog ever. Thanks for listening.